Never Stop Learning, week 127. I took a look at some of the different views and navigation tools that we have available to us in Adobe Illustrator CC. So I have this piece right here, and some of the first tricks I learned was you come over here to the tool panel, and when you find your hand tool, if you double click on it, it'll zoom out so you can see your entire artboard. You could also double click on the zoom tool, and that will zoom in at your actual print size. But I tend to use the keyboard shortcuts for that more often. So if I want to zoom out and see my entire artboard, I'll hit Command 0 and that'll show it off for me. But if I want to see it at print size, I just have to hit Command 1 and it'll zoom into that print size. For this piece that I was working on here, I actually set up a custom view for this. So if you come over here to View, scroll down, you see I have this one here. It's called Center 2400, and that just allows me to see the center of my artboard at 2400%. And if I zoom out, hit Command 0 so I could see my entire artboard. I could actually create some custom ones in addition to that. So let's say there's a lot of detail in here, and this is something that I really needed to focus on often. So in order for me to create a new view, I'll just come over here to View, scroll all the way down. Right here it says New View. I'll click on that once, and I just have to give it a name. It'll remember this view that I see over here. So I'll call it Left View, and then hit OK. And then now if I hit Command 0 so I could see all my artwork, I'll come over here to where it says View, and now I have two options. I have Center 2400, or I have this new one we just created called Left View. So I'll click on that, and it brings me right back to that same area we were in. What I tend to use more often in these different views is going to be the navigation panel. And you can find that by going over to Window, scroll down till you find the Navigator. You click on that once, and then this guy pops out. I like this one because this little red box shows what the view is here. If I want to just jump around, I'd be able to do that. I could slide this left or right to zoom in or out. I don't use this that often because it doesn't update automatically, but I will use the actual buttons themselves to zoom in or out. Usually I just do a Command 0 so I could zoom all the way out and see all my artwork. A new trick that I actually learned that I never heard of before is when you come into this Navigator window and you hold down Command, it turns into a little zoom tool icon. So I just click and drag, and it'll keep the proportion of my artboard, and when I release, it'll just zoom into that area. So when I was working on this piece, I actually needed to zoom in a little bit, and I worked around here. I'll show you how I ended up doing this. So I selected my artwork, came over and grabbed my shape builder tool, and then when I hold down Alt, I could remove pieces. So I just kind of use this to help jump around and find all the different pieces that I wanted to get rid of for this piece. So it's kind of fast if you're zoomed in a lot, so be careful about that. But as you can see, it's really helpful for my workflow to kind of just get around. If I needed to get someplace that's pretty close, I could just hold down the space bar and bring this guy around here. I could just click and drag, and I'm basically just grabbing my artboard and moving it around. It's another fun way to kind of navigate around your artboard. So let me hit Command 0 and I could zoom back out and see all my piece. And now we can take a look at the final product. This is how the piece turned out. And there you have it, folks. Just a couple quick techniques to help you get around in your Adobe Illustrator projects.